After an incredibly long wait, the official teaser trailer for The Last Jedi has dropped. There's a lot to talk about, and I want to jump right into it, so let's do just that. The way we're going to do this is we'll first go through the trailer shot by shot, and I'll do my best to explain what I think is going on, and then I'll try to make some connections between the scenes and make some predictions about the plot. The trailer opens with what appears to be stars, but then is revealed to be the ground on Ahch-To. A moment or two passes by, and then Rey's hand comes into frame, and she's shown to be out of breath. I can't help but think of the way the Force Awakens trailer opened up with Finn on Jakku. Not saying there's any significance to that, but I thought it was an interesting choice to open up both trailers in pretty much the exact same way. There's a couple of cool shots of the island on Ahch-To, and you can hear Luke's voice guiding Rey as she reaches out with the Force. It kind of reminds me of the way Yoda instructed Luke when he was training on Dagobah, which was no doubt done on purpose. Then we see a shot of Rey with her hand on the ground once more and some rocks floating around her. Again, I feel like this is reflective of Luke training on Dagobah, but we'll get into that later. Luke asks Rey what she sees. She answers light, and there's a cut to Leia with a barely audible voiceover of her saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." Leia appears to be in a rebel base, standing in front of a projection of the galaxy. The next shot is of Kylo Ren's broken helmet. His theme song plays while Darth Vader's breathing can be heard, and Rey says, "Darkness." So from this we can gather that Kylo is either A, done with the whole mask thing, or B, he's gonna get a new mask. I'm gonna go with option A, as I feel like the mask was always used by Kylo to hide his emotions when he felt conflicted about doing something in line with the dark side's values. After the events of The Force Awakens, he may have gained some confidence and finally truly embraced the dark side's power and feels the mask is no longer necessary. The next shot is of a bookshelf, though it's pretty hard to tell what any of the books actually are. I've heard some people suggest that they may be the Journals of the Whills, but there's really no way of knowing that for sure, though it's a pretty cool idea. We also see a gloved hand, which we can likely assume is Luke's, over the symbol of the Jedi Order, which, by the way, we've never actually seen in a movie before, so this is a pretty cool inclusion. When this symbol is shown, Rey says, "a balance." We can also barely hear Yoda's line from The Empire Strikes Back, where he's lecturing Luke on the Force, saying, "Its energy surrounds us and binds us." The next shot is of Rey training with Luke's old lightsaber on the cliffs of Ahch-To as he watches her from a distance. We hear what sounds like Luke saying, "It's so much bigger," which I suspect may be in response to Rey saying that she sees light, darkness, and a balance. The next shot is on a planet that's said to be called Crate, and we see some ships we've never seen before with some kind of red substance behind them. I'm pretty positive that the red is not coming from the ships because it seems to only be emitting from where the ships are dragging on the ground. Also, when we see one of the ships smashing off the ground, red dust flies out from behind it. So I'm thinking this may be some sort of battle strategy that incorporates the terrain of the planet they're fighting on, maybe to mask their numbers, or maybe it's just to look cool. You can also see what appears to be walkers off in the distance. We then see Finn in what appears to be some kind of medical pod. He also kind of looks like he's in a high-tech suit of armor. It really wouldn't surprise me if it was some sort of cybernetic exoskeleton, being that he took Kylo Ren's lightsaber along his entire spine and probably has some serious nerve damage. Regardless, I don't think he's going to be in this pod the entire movie, but the suit remains to be seen. Next, we see a shot of Poe running through a rebel base to his X-Wing, which ends up exploding before he can get to it. The Millennium Falcon is shown under attack from some TIE fighters, Rey is shown running with Luke's lightsaber, and then we see Kylo Ren holding out his lightsaber. His scar appears to have healed up just fine, which I don't think that many people expected, but it reminds me of the scar Anakin had in Revenge of the Sith. Next, we see what I'm pretty much guaranteeing is a flashback to Luke returning to the Jedi Temple to find it destroyed by the Knights of Ren. Luke not being present during the attack helps explain how the Knights were able to take out the temple so easily. A mini theory of mine is that Luke hasn't actually seen Kylo since before the attack, and he's going to have a reunion with him that's similar to the reunion of Ben Kenobi and Darth Vader on the Death Star. Following this, there's a shot of Captain Phasma walking through fire and wreckage with some stormtroopers. Although this is right after the shot with the burning temple, I have a feeling they're walking through the rebel base we saw Poe's ship exploding in earlier. A space battle is shown right after this, and we get a glimpse of what appears to be some A-Wings, so it looks like we're going to get some diversity in the way of ships that we didn't get in The Force Awakens. The trailer ends with a shot of Luke in a cave saying, "I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end." So this is where I'm going to make some small predictions about the plot. The shots of Rey breathing heavily on Ahch-To, having the rocks floating around her, and the conversation she's having with Luke about seeing the light, darkness, and a balance is reflective of Luke's training on Dagobah. Remember how in that scene his meditating gets disrupted when he sees visions of Leia and Han being tortured in Cloud City? I think Rey is going to have visions similar to this, which is why we see her out of breath and panicking, only she's not going to make the same mistake that Luke did and run to whatever trouble it is that she sees. I think they're going to go the opposite route and have her stay put and wait for the First Order to come to her and Luke, which is where this clip of Kylo Ren could come in. He's got an especially sinister, angry look in his eye, and I think that this will be the face-off he has with his old master. The scenes with the hangar, the ships, the walkers, etc. sort of remind me of the battle on Hoth from The Empire Strikes Back, and I think the Resistance is just going to get decimated here with Leia, Poe, and potentially Finn barely making it out alive. Then again, I might be totally wrong about all of this and could be trying to make too many connections to the old movies. Regardless, I enjoyed this trailer a lot and I have pretty high hopes for episode 8. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you let me know what you think by hitting that like button and leaving your thoughts in a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys soon with some more Star Wars content.